Are you able to see me? Oh, I think the light is behind me. Okay. Oh. It is on. I think I should switch off the light which is behind me. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, but I don't seem to be, bright and should I have some light here? ஒன்னையும் காணோம் இங்க வீட்டுல நம்ம வைக்கிற இடத்துல ஒண்ணுதான் இருக்க மாட்டேங்குது. Just a moment, please. இதுக்கு பேட்டரி யாவது இருக்குல்ல? இதுல இருக்கு. இந்த லைட்டே பத்த மாட்டேங்குது. You're not able to see me, no? Oh, you can? Oh, I was thinking that because my video shows it is completely dark. Okay. Okay, if it is all right, then I think I can proceed. Okay, so Should I start? Okay. So I can switch off the phone and I can start. Hello? Hello, I am Ramalatha Marimuthu. I am a senior member of IEEE. I have nearly 30 years of teaching experience in electronics and communication. I graduated in 1985, and almost all my career I have been doing teaching in polytechnics and engineering colleges. And my area of interest is computer architecture, VLSI, and right now I have embarked on a new line of engineering, which is called assistive technology. And for the past 10 years, I have been doing projects on assistive technology. And this assistive technology is one which actually helps the community. So we identify the needs of the community around us, and we find out how technology can be used for solving these needs. And one of those solutions we came up with was for the people with disabilities. We call them special people, and for these special people, we have identified some of the needs that the special people have, and those we have tried to find the solution for. I have received some 4 or 5 awards, particularly for this humanitarian streak in my technology career. And the first thing we started with was gait corrective walking mat for the people with cerebral palsy. And these cerebral palsy people, the children, had a tough time walking with balance. And one of the hospitals nearby to our college, they wanted a gait corrective walking mat. We went and sat with the children. We understood their need. Then we designed a complete mat with sensors, pressure sensors and load sensors. With the load sensors, we designed the mat for the children to walk on, and when they walk on it, there will be a musical response. And if the children come out of the mat, or if they step out of the mat, then they get a screaming alarm, which actually immediately alerts the child to walk on the mat. So this was our first entry into the assistive technology, and this was our first experiment, and it came off very well. So this encouraged us to continue with other types of projects on assistive technology. Mm, this year we have done 2 projects, particularly for people with mobility impairment. One of the mobility impairment we identified was the ankle foot arthrosis, that is the drop foot. For drop foot patients, we were asked to design a system which will help them move around. And this was a kind of robotic limb, which is not exactly a robotic limb, but there is a motor which senses, there is a sensor which senses the drop foot. And when it drops to a particular angle, the flex sensor senses it and creates an electric impulse which will run a motor, and this motor will bring the foot up. So we designed a complete foot for the people with mobility impairment called drop foot. And this ankle foot orthosis has been designed a prototype has been designed and tested on some of the patients in the nearby hospital in Kovai Medical Center Hospital. Now, the second project that we have embarked on, the ARM project, is that we have designed a robotic limb for, again, mobility impaired people. And this is a little different. Usually, the arms are designed in such a way that it will go, pick up something, and place something. But here we have actually mobility impaired people who can sit, who can find that they have something out of reach. And when they find that they are out of the things are out of reach, they can immediately produce an app which will move the arm, and this arm will bring the things that is necessary for the patient to use, maybe a glass of water or even a tablet. It will bring to the person from wherever it is available. So it has a mobile platform. So from the mobile platform, the arm will be just picking up the thing and bringing it to the patient wherever they are sitting. So this we have designed for the patients who have mobility just below their chest. So this arm is the first of its kind, and we have not yet tested it with the people in the Kovai Medical Center Hospital, but we are going to do it in the near future. These are some of the ARM projects. These are some of the robotics projects that we have done with the help of the students themselves. And the students love these projects. One thing is they identify the need of the people, and it gives them a sense of purpose. They know that they are doing it for some patients who will require it, who will use it, and who will be benefited by it. And the first thing they do is understand the need. So from that, the problem definition is taken. And after that, they do a small design process. And in the design process, they select what type of processor they are going to use, what type of sensor they are going to use, and the other kind of design parameters that they need to. And these design parameters are discussed with and tested with the patients, and then they start working on the actual design. And it took us nearly 6 months to design it with an Arduino processor, and then we shifted off to an ARM processor because we are going to use it as a prototype, but we are also going to make it as a product. So when we go for a product, we don't want to take any chances on the working condition of the processor. And the Arduino was not able to support the servo motor weight and the limb that we were going to use. And so we switched over to ARM. And also the power required was a little higher. And so we had to design a separate power circuit for that also. So similar to the arms that are being designed in the market, this is also just like a pick and place robot. The only difference is this is going to be a pick, grasp, and move and give it to the patient kind of robot. So these are some of the robotic experiments that we have worked with, but we are working with real people, real problems, and the systems are also really required. So we are also embarking on another project that we are going to start in the near future, but it may not require a complete build-up of a robo, but it will require augmented reality kind of robo. Again, we are doing it for people with immobility. So, not exactly immobility, but this is a kind of rehabilitation device. And this rehabilitation is particularly required for the people who have fractured their hand and the movement is totally impaired, um, uh, or even leg. So, the augmented reality kind of system will help them understand where they can train themselves with. So we are going to pick up the sense of those people, and from that we are going to build up the system. Uh, they will be training with the help of the our system, because the training cannot be given every day for the patient, owing to the lack of availability of staff, and this will help them train at home itself, and maybe the monitoring can be done by the doctors, maybe once in a week or once in a month or something, and finally the progress can be monitored with the help of our system. So these are some of the projects that we are doing, particularly for the patients with immobility, and for patients with some other um, disability. We are also planning to have some systems, particularly working with their education modules, and giving them a cognizant support. So this cognizant support, we will be starting now, but we have not actually worked on it right now. So these are the processes and the robotics that we have built with the help of the students. And I should say our students have been wonderful. They have um, actually understood the people, and they wanted to um, come out of their shells and work with them, and um, work with them, and help the people with some sort of who are unfortunate, just not like us. Okay. So right now I have got a question from a viewer. The question is how we can use robotics in aeronautics. This is a wonderful question, particularly in the wake of the disaster that we can see in Nepal. I think this is a very valid and great question. So, how can we use robotics in aeronautics? I'm teaching real time systems, and funnily enough, I use a lot of aeronautic examples for my real time system classes. And I find that the embedded systems and the robotics are very useful for um, the aeronautics kind of real time systems, because in aeronautics, we need immediate response, and it will cost lives if the number of the amount of time or the latency that is taken for responding, if it takes a call on the hazardous situations that is there in aeronautics. So particularly, I hope you would have seen the video and the other type of multimedia entertainment that are available. It's called infotainment. Infotainment, particularly available in the airships and flights. And I travel a lot, and when I am used to going on a flight, sometimes it becomes difficult for us to actually get up, walk around, and take the systems out. And I usually use the aisle seat, and the people who are on the window seat and the other places, if they want to go and take some water, they need to move out. And though there are stewardesses and the other people, it is difficult for the people to get up and attract the attention of the the stewardesses. And I think the robos can really help the people in identifying uh, the the in identifying the need-based requirement of the passengers. I saw one girl, a small girl, sitting nearby my side. She was not even able to switch on the attracting light for the stewardess, and I was telling her, you need a robotic arm which will immediately switch on the light which is on the roof or the top mast. And if there is a robotic arm where she can operate from her seat itself, then it will be very useful. This is one kind of use. The other kind of use I think can be used in particularly hazardous circumstances where people find it very difficult to venture inside the aircraft when there is an accident or anything. And the robotic um, arms or robotic persons which are inside the aero ship, they will be able to help move the exit and the door, open it, and use the lines for bringing the people out. So when there is an accident and when there is a untoward incident in in a airship, then at that time the robotics will be of much use. Um, Particularly if you see the doors, it is very difficult to open a door immediately as soon as the accident has happened. And unless otherwise the stewardesses or the air hostesses come and open it, it will be difficult. So if we have a robotic arm, robotic kind of opening and closing environment in the exit, it will be very helpful for the people who are traveling, and for the ship which has actually entered into um, hazardous plane. I've got another question. Is it possible to create a complete humanobot which works on neurostimulus from our brain with our current technology? I feel it is possible, though I have not ventured into any human or bot. I have discussed it with one of my friends who is in the DRDO, that is the research laboratory, and who is now deputed to IIT Madras. And we have actually discussed building a humanoid for some of the applications which I was working on. For example, I was actually thinking of bringing a humanoid kind of um, robo, which will be helping with the students who are finding the teaching tedious and who would like to have a kind of um, an environment where when they want to get the teaching themselves, they will be able to do. So this is the kind of environment I was thinking of. And this neurostimulus from the brain, whether it will work on the human or bot, this I have not actually worked on, but I'm sure it is possible because there are systems which will be used for moving a wheelchair with the help of our brain stimulus. In California State University, Northridge, I've seen a wheelchair which is gesture controlled and which is brainwave controlled. So when there is a possibility of the brainwave controlling a wheelchair, it is only a question of replacing the wheelchair with a robo. So there is every possibility with the current technology for us to build a human elbow with the help of which will work on the neurostimulus from our brain. And it is on the way because when we can design something for people who have lost their mobility, as I said, we are working on an augmented reality, and this augmented reality is also based on the cognitive strength of the stimulus that people will get when they want to, and this training is based on the amount of work or the amount of stimulus that they get towards the movement of the finger. For example, a person is rehabilitating after a fracture, and he is trying to move his finger. And if the finger can be moved with the help of an augmented reality, then then it will be possible for them to think that it is their finger that is moving, and definitely this will create a stimulus in their brain, and this will bring out their training authority to be moved to their finger, which will continue their training. So, so there is a lot of work on the neurostimulus of our brain, and it is possible for us to control anything with the help of that. Now I've got another question. Is it possible to build a robo which has functionalities like doing an X-ray, blood test, and can carry oxygen cylinders so they can be placed in ambulance cars? This is an excellent question. Yes, it will be possible for us to build a robo which has functionalities like this, because the robos are the cars that we design. So if you want to design a car in the form of a robo, then again it becomes a mobile humanoid robo. So when we can uh, design a robo with who will be doing an X-ray, what we mean exactly is whether they will be able to adjust the machine to the particular amount of rays that should be passed on a human, and adjust the place that they want to be X-rayed, and carry on with the placing of the film and taking out. All these are individual works that can be accomplished with the help of um, control. So this control, if it is extended towards um, a continuous control system, which will start with placing the film, then checking whether the person is there in the place, and as soon as the place is filled by the person, if it is possible for them to identify, then switch on the machine, find out if the X-ray has been taken out, and finally remove the film and process it. Of course, for any of the robo connected works, we do have a monitoring system, and this monitoring system can be a random check whether it is possible for them to use the same kind of cognizance that we are using. For example, if a person wants to take up an X-ray for their leg, then the position should be adjusted when we enter. Yes, it is leg, right leg, and maybe the first toe or second toe. Then the robo should be able to just feed in where the X-ray is to be taken, and with the help of a system which will actually move the chair and the position of the X-ray machine, the X-ray where it is to be pointed, then we should be able to identify the correct position of the leg or the toe that is to be X-rayed. So it is a overall control system. It is not exactly a robo, but the control system for the movement of the person, the chair, that will be a separate one, but the robo will be a separate one where they will be entering the data and taking out the film out of it. All the rest of the things will be controlled by the machine itself. So this is one way of doing an X-ray, and I'm sure we are already building systems for the blood test, and for bringing the oxygen cylinders to the hazardous places like a rocket launching site. Um, so it should be possible for us to connect all of these together and bring it to an ambulance car. I've got another question. Can you please let us know a good introductory online course on robotics? Introductory online course. Actually, we have conducted some online courses. Sorry, it's not online courses. We have conducted some workshops on robotics for our students, and these robotics courses were handled by two or three different people. For example, we got the person which I was talking about, who is in DRDO, and we joined together and we delivered a course on robotics to help them with preliminary building of robots and preliminary working of robots. It is just a moment, and the basic robo courses, just like a line detecting robo and the obstacle detecting robo, like that. But online courses should be available. Coursera or MOOC should have some kind of introductory course on robo, but not a hands-on. But of course, there are so many online robotic communities that are available, from where you can start your robotic video build on answering your questions when you find that you are stuck up in the middle, or maybe in some places where you need help with. There are so many communities where the robotics has become a important part of their work. Um, but if there is a specific help that needs to be done, kindly mail me. I'll be able to help, help in connecting you to have maybe an online course wherever it is available. Uh, I've got another question. Can you please tell us the use of robots in advancing human life quality, especially help in disasters and calamities? Oh, that's a wonderful question. Um, so, as I was just telling, in the Nepal disaster, there is every possibility that it will be difficult for us to actually go inside the rubble and the other disaster struck area to pull out the human bodies. And this is the most important work that is to be done. As you are hearing, there are people who are inside the rebels and who may be alive also. Just a week ago, I heard that there is a 101-year-old person who was still alive for 3 days within the Nepal disaster struck house, which it just fell down, and he was brought out alive with minimal injuries, just a scratch or two. So it is possible for us to have some of the robots um, move these rubble and bring out the people who are alive, where it will be difficult for the humans to venture into, for the fear that it might be um, it might be disastrous for the people who are venturing for help. So there is every possibility that in disasters and calamities, it is possible for us to use the robots. For example, I can tell you in where there is a tsunami, and if there is a tsunami and or even a small thunderstorm, let us say, during the thunderstorm, it is possible for the electric lines to get cut off, and there will be so many wires hanging in the places, and it causes so many casualties. And we should be able to have our robots moving around the places where there is a calamity struck, and checking out how the electrical connections are, and where it is possible for us to work on bringing restoration for the electrical lines without bringing more disaster. So this is one example of where robots can help. There is another one more question. How many ways we can implement broad AI into robots? Uh, how many ways we can implement broad AI into robots? I'm not sure I understand the question correctly, but I feel it should be like whether it should be possible for us to have the intelligence injected into the robo. Yes, it should be possible for us to do it, like um, um, the the artificial intelligence part of it is required, where we have a fuzzy kind of input, and the outcome is not very well known, and it should be possible for us to have this implement using neural network, where we train the system, and where we will be able to get a fixed output out of it. So if there is a change in the input, and the range of change is not known, this is one way of implementing it, training the system and bringing it to the original correct value, or maybe the map it into the correct input and bring out the output out of it. I'm not sure whether I have understood the question correctly, but I hope I have answered the question. This is one way of doing it, but there are so many models available, bringing the AI into the robots. I have not actually used any AI in my robots. The only thing is, I have taken the change in the input, and the change in the input is known within a particular range. Within the range, it is easier for us to move the robo, or bring in any functionality of the robo into a continuous wave, and the output is known for it. But bringing broad AI, I'm not very familiar with. I'm sorry about it. I think we have completed the questions. If there are no more questions, um, oh, there is another question. Robotics have just started to grow in India. Is it possible to build a robo which would clean our city or our surrounding place and keep our places clean by keeping in mind the criteria of cleanliness, which is fully automated? Oh, great. That's a great idea. Uh, I don't know whether you have seen a video by the National University of Singapore. The National University of Singapore, there is they have a great robotics uh, technology wing, and Dr. Shengdang Jiao is very well known to me. He is um, he is an authority on building exotic systems for exotic applications. For example, you might have heard about the sand art. So he has built a system which will automate this sand art and bring out beautiful pictures out of it, a continuous system. And similar to that, he has also built a robo which will do the household work. So this one, suppose if I'm working, what I have to do is just place some tags of what I want the robot to do. For example, it will be like make up the bed, clean the kitchen, and maybe dust the place, And one more thing we can say, okay, dump the dustbin. So all these will be given with the help of tags. These tags will be placed in the places where actually the robo will be moving around and reading the tags. It will read the tags. It will do. It will actually pass on the message to the robo, which will start doing the work, like making up the bed or cleaning the vehicles or dumping the dustbin helpful for us, or it should be easy for the robots to move around. But imagine if there are complete if there are complete hello, Trupti, I'm on the call. I'm talking. Oh, yes. You're not able to hear? So there is every possibility that if we keep the places clean and if we have robo-friendly roads, there is every possibility that the robots can be used for bringing out cleanliness to our city. It is exciting to see that um, people have so many questions, and uh, it is exciting to answer you. Though I may not be an expert in every topic about the robots, I'm interested in robo, and I think it makes us a good partnership. And I'm sure if you have any work on any job that you have completed on robo, I'll be happy to hear about it. And definitely in my future projects that I'm planning, it is not exactly about the robots, but as I said, I'm also planning on the virtual reality kind of setup, which will be an extension of the work I'm doing with the robo. And once the augmented reality or the virtual reality kind of setup is complete and it is possible for us to work on it, it should be actually translated into a hardware kind of work. And of course, robots will be of much use for me at that time. And these robots are exciting and fascinating partners wherever you can uh, work with, and particularly For people with cognizant development and requirement, the robots will be of much use. So, thank you for being on my call, and thank you for all the questions. I hope I have created some curiosity in you. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.